Hey, everybody. I hope that your Tuesday has gone pretty smoothly. I'm Robin with RH Image. I am a fashion and image consultant. I kind of feel like since it's 7 o'clock that, hi, Robin Marie. I feel like it's almost like fashion happy hour because it's, 7 o'clock. Everybody's kind of winding down for the day. But tonight, I love to have this time on Instagram because each week, if you start following me, you will see we're talking about great topics with amazing women. And tonight, I have Tia Greene Granger joining me. And so let's just get her on here. Let's see. Okay. Sorry about that. I am just checking it out and seeing when Tia jumps on because she's going to join me tonight to talk about personal branding through style, which is such a great topic because everyone has to address their image and whatever they do for their business. So let's see. Let me just see if Tia is on here. Give me 1 second. Hang in there. You know how this goes. Sometimes it's a little bit of a stutter step just to get everybody on and get the party started. Okay. Tia, if you're trying to jump on, I'm trying to get you on. I hope you like this idea of fashion happy hour because we're going to be diving in with other women on different topics. But again, I think everybody can relate to a lot of our topics. Last week we talked about leveraging your look on Zoom, but really that was applicable to whether you're on FaceTime, whether you are on Zoom or even a dating app. Okay, so my partner in crime tonight, Tia, is having some technical problems. So I'm going to jump off for a minute, but don't go away because I'm going to come back on and I want to hear from people with their questions, their comments. Oh, all right. Tia, let's see. I'm not going anywhere, evidently. Tia, there she is. Hi. Hi.
Hello. Sorry,
Hi.
puppy duties.
Oh, okay.
So-
Okay. I thought it was technical duty, like,
no, it's
technical difficulties.
Levi. If no one
Okay.
knows, I have a dog named Levi. He is 18 months and he drives me crazy. So, yeah,
Okay, well, we've got some people who have jumped on with us, which is great. And I was just talking about the
great.
fact that you and I, well, first of all, you need to introduce yourself and tell them because they know that I'm a fashion image consultant and what we're going to be talking about tonight. But I was hoping that you would
Of
jump
course.
on and introduce yourself, Tia.
Yes. All right, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hey, Becca. Hi, Chris. Hi, everybody. Um, as if you don't know me, I am a marketer and PR guru over at Liba PR. I'm a huge advocate for female founders, women in business, and really helping them thrive and grow. And I'm super honored to be here tonight with you, Robin, to just really dive deep into personal branding and just share some insight.
Yeah,
Becca
I was
says,
thinking,
hi, friends.
but we encourage people to ask questions because yes, there's some great tips to pick up and knowledge to be gleaned. And I love having this time to share and collaborate with other women. But we value your questions and your time. So just leave it in the comment and we'll try to get to your questions. So thank you. So yeah, so I was saying when I was waiting for you to pop on that truly your personal branding, your style, your image, and growing that, the importance of that, and how people receive you. And that's where I'm always joining with my client to see where they're at in their life and what their goals are, so I can help them to feel confident and elevate their image so that they can be received well, their voice heard, their presence, and that they can have that opportunity to succeed and even level up to where they want to be.
And that's one thing I love about you is because you just don't go at it as like, oh, you are a realtor and this is what you have to wear. You actually go personal because it starts with like your personal branding before you go into professionalism. So I definitely want to touch on that if that's okay.
Yeah.
Is to touch on like your personal aspects of just like what you love. Like tonight you told me wear color. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, so I grabbed I grabbed my
Well, I
kimono
can't.
to match
Oh,
color.
oh, there you go. See, I love the kimono. Yeah, and it's got a print. Well, I always start off with color with my clients because no matter what you do, it's important. Everybody has a color season where there's certain colors that they look great in. It complements their skin tone, it pops their eye color, they look well rested, and it just brings their face, their presence, looking fresh and energy. So energized. So I just always address color. And even so, for some of my clients, depending on what they do, it's imperative that they understand the psychology a little bit about going deep with color. Like green is a great confidence color, red is a great energy color, but it also brings more of aggression in terms of in a good way, that you are a go-getter, you're going to get the job done. If you are dealing in a field where people heavily have to trust you and
Mhm.
you want to convey compassion, then of course there's certain tones of green and yellow, but it always starts off with, where is my client at? How do they feel about themselves? What do they want to accomplish? And how can we parlay that brand into something that that's going to be consistent? And I talk about the 4 C's of what I work on with my clients to accomplish that brand. Um, but of course, too, Tia, I would love for you to just talk a little bit about, again, it's you see it when people have a business and
Yes.
you're coming to help them, where people sometimes maybe their brand doesn't represent like what they're showing up as. Do you find it's always 100% of what they, how they're showing up and reflecting their business and their image?
I do. So it's fascinating because, and I'm actually going to pull in our emerging female professionals into this conversation because
Okay.
what I do on the PR side is I am the voice for inspirational souls. I am the voice for entities. So when we're talking about like a public figure, I call them inspirational souls. I actually look and seeing what they are wearing. You know, is it reflecting their brand messaging? Is it reflecting their core values? Like, and I know that might sound like, wait, core values, brand messaging, what is this? But if you're walking, for instance, one of my clients is a coach and she is a public speaker. So if she is going to go into an event and she just throws on just jeans
And
and a
sweatshirt.
regular sweatshirt, you know, and just goes live and they're like, what is she? They're not going to take her seriously. But she's all about women empowerment. Now, if she walked in with just a nice blazer, a pop of color, like a blue blouse, like a silk blouse, and like maybe white skinny jeans, and I don't know what type of heels that's all on you. But if she walked up like that at a conference, of course everyone's going to look at her because she's going in with confidence. But if someone goes into a conference with just a hoodie or just a regular shirt and jeans and flats and you know they're running a business, to me that doesn't speak volume. To me it's like, did you really take the time to get dressed and be present and be in your power for that moment? So,
Right.
and as a PR representative and as a publicist, that's one of the things I look at is anytime someone's doing a speaking engagement, I do look at what are you going to wear? Or if you're doing a photo shoot, what are you wearing for this photo shoot? Or if you're
Incredibly
going to be on,
important.
and if you're going to be on the news or having an interview where people are going to see you, what are you wearing? Because it's going to
I
tell
always say
your
you
story.
you look like the authority,
Yeah.
because what you're mirroring back to your clients is what you're drawing. What you reflect is what you're attracting. And so I say that to people so they understand, who do you want to work with? Who's your ideal client? So that you look like the authority, because you only have 7 seconds. 7 seconds when somebody first meets you. And in that, they're making 11 assumptions about you in those first 7 seconds. So you may not even open your mouth other than to say hello and say your name. You haven't even gotten a chance to share your knowledge, your experience, your wisdom, and what you could do for this person.
Mm-hmm.
But they're already deciding, do they know what they're talking about? Are they professional? Are they reliable? Can I trust them? So
Yeah.
that's why it's not so much about sometimes how the client's showing up, it's about how you are showing up. And again, how you show up, that's the energy you're putting off to draw on the people that you want to succeed with and you want to have that, create that relationship with. Some of the four C's that I talk about with clients, and just outlining what that looks like, and keeping the
Mm-hmm.
clarity, the confidence, the consistency, and the communication. And that's my job, is to come alongside of them and teach them that the clarity is your message in
Mm-hmm.
image. Are you showing up that conveys your message? So again, an example of, if you're a health coach, if you are working as a financial advisor, are you showing up and your image, your brand is reflecting a message of what you know and what you're there to talk about or to share or to network? And the confidence, when you are using your image as a great tool,
Mm-hmm.
because image is a tool, that's your brand. It doesn't matter what you do in terms of the sales, what company you work for, you are the face of the company, you are the brand. So it's having that confidence that you are using your image as a tool in a positive way that speaks positive affirmations about yourself, but also you're doing it consistently. You're out there networking, you're on a Zoom meeting, you are meeting someone in a social event, but it's also a work event, a retreat, a conference. It's being consistent so that people do, time and time again, they start to go, okay, you know what? I do think I want to work with this person. I see what they're delivering in terms of, I trust them. I'm hearing what they say, and they're opening up to you and they're receiving properly what you want them to receive about you. And
Yes.
that's the communication aspect. You don't get the opportunity if you are not bringing the success with your brand.
And it's true because remember a couple weeks ago, we hosted the midday retreat for emerging female professionals, whether if they're like a senior in college or they've already graduated
Right.
and they're in their first year. And that's one of the topics that you touched on was having the right attire when you're showing up for an interview. And that spoke a lot of volume because even with Michelle, because she talked about boundaries and branding,
Right.
and we touched on that too of what you wear is definitely speaking like who you are. So you want to make sure like your nails, are manicured well and your eyelashes, of course you wear eyelashes going out and about, like makeup, all that jazz, but be cognizant of what you're going to be wearing when you're going to an interview, whether if it's for a Fortune 500 company or it's a small business. Like you should treat it as the same. Am I right?
It is, because it's too easy to overlook details. And
Mm-hmm.
I always say the difference is in the details, and that's for men and women. I give them guidelines, I teach them to consider certain points, because our subconscious is receiving the whole package when we meet somebody. But it's also, you know what? It's when you get a degree, you have a job, no one necessarily sits you down and says, hey, this is business etiquette. Here's some
Mm-hmm.
defining standards that you should consider so that you know when you're going out for an interview, or you're ready to make that impression at work, because you want to grow within the company, you want to be recognized, you want to be noticed for your skill set. No one teaches you those things. And if you have built your business and you find that you're plateauing, then you realize, okay, I need to take a step back
Oh, I can't hear you.
And I'm just checking to see if anybody has any popped in. I love that people are on, and I appreciate you guys. And I'm just seeing if anybody. Um,
Wait, we couldn't hear you anymore. You went away for a moment, so tech issues. Yeah, but now I can hear you now because
you
Becca,
can.
she
I'm
just
so
said the same
sorry.
thing. Yeah, there you are. There
Okay,
you are.
I'm
Yeah,
so sorry.
it's okay. It's technology. It
Can
happens.
you still
Uh,
hear me?
I can hear you
Okay.
now.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No, it's
Um,
fine. But I do want to touch on some
okay.
things. I would love to touch on, so like I told you earlier today, so as a woman like entrepreneur and I do multiple things from like running a PR agency to now have a TV series, and now I'm curating a whole just a program for emerging professionals, female men too. Don't worry, I'll get into men too. But I'm focusing on my own brand, Tia Green Granger, and just having those looks. What is the best advice for you? Because Liba PR's colors is totally different than what Tia Green Granger's colors are going to be when it comes to just the outlook of branding. Now, wearing wise, like what would you share to me as someone that's doing multiple things of like what I could be wearing based off
Okay.
of my own
Well,
brand?
I love that because again, it's like you're branching out, but you asked a really good question because you're like, but I'm doing. My understanding is you're going in different directions, and so therefore, are you catering to different clients, a different audience,
Same audience.
same
It's a
audience?
it's like different roads but the same destination. So
Okay.
for instance, like one road is strictly businesses, right? It's just entities, brick and mortars. Another road is like personal, like you and me, and just having that personal touch. And another road is really gauging, again, personal but more curating experiences for people to be seen and heard and supported. So same
So
audiences, but just
okay, so if
different
it's the
areas.
same audience, then I still feel that it's almost like creating a capsule,
Hmm.
a wardrobe capsule in terms of yes, you can flex it some pertaining to am I on location with this one or am I on Zoom with this one? But it's key to have consistency that you still look polished, pulled together, and you're wearing prints, colors, things that emote that you are a very creative person. But again, keeping things where when you are in person meeting someone for the first time or you're on Zoom, that we're not overdoing it in terms of which I know for you,
I know.
that's not the case
I
in
know.
terms of, and I don't mean that, I
Everyone
don't mean that in a
here.
bad way. I'm saying sometimes people can overdo it
Hmm.
because it's almost like a three accessory rule. Well, your makeup, it's like, yes, have a pop of color, look fresh, do your makeup, but don't go over the top with your makeup. And then your glasses is another accessory. And then earrings is another.
Yeah.
You have to keep it within these parameters that your brand isn't starting to overtake where it's distracting people. It's distracting them from, oh, okay, is your business going through a different transition? Is Tia going through a different transition? That there's a consistency that they know which you are, the person that they can count on, and that you are supportive and creative and fresh and polished. But it doesn't mean that you have to have a blazer every day, but it does mean that I'd say, okay, stick to the layering. It might be a kimono, it might be a blazer, it might be a great cardigan. It could be a button-up blouse belted over with a sundress. There's lots of options that I always provide for my clients, but I give them a defining parameter of what that looks like.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's creating a digital wardrobe for them out of what they have and what they need to have. I shop for them or shop with them. So for you, Tia, it's great because you do have more leeway because you're in a creative field, but you still have to have their trust,
Mm,
their confidence. So that again, it's that keeping that consistency and that communication, which of course I
I
love
know.
working with you and you are very consistent. But we want to keep that branding going because as you expand, still you're meeting new people, and
Yeah.
as you never know people. You never know. You could be at a cocktail party and then you just got a new client. So You always, when you are the brand, especially when you have your own business, you've got to keep it on point, and you've got to always think about that any situation can turn into an opportunity for a new client.
And that's a perfect example of how we met. So we met at an event.
Yeah. Yes.
Where I was moderating, and right afterwards, you came up to me, we connected, we engaged, and it just happened that way. And my question for you, with that being said, with me speaking and moderating, because you know it's different themes for different events that we're producing for WOW, Women of Wealth, which is amazing. Tammy Lewis, you're a rock star. We love you. We
Great
love that you created
community.
such an
I
amazing
encourage
group.
all business women to jump in. We need the community of support
Yeah.
and networking.
But with that being said, I think you've noticed for each panel, like we're all dressed in a certain way. So that's like, hello. But here's the thing. Since we're speaking, um, what colors should we digress with? Because you've noticed we wear a good amount of black. Should we always wear black? You know, I know like the last one we were all wearing black, like, oh my gosh, we got the black memo. So what do you think we should
Except
do
for
for
me.
colors? I know.
So
You got the
black is
denim memo. And same with Anna. But
um
everyone else is black.
black is great, but don't it's not black doesn't have to always be your fallback. Um there are other colors, like people will say, oh, but if I'm in this field and I'm going to buy a suit, it's got to be black or navy or gray. And that's not true, because you can still have that level of professionalism
Hmm.
and wearing color. But again, you have to think of the environment. So for me, yes, I did wear a pop of denim, but I had a vest layered over it. If you always add in a structured piece, a button-up shirt, a vest, again, a great accessory, it just brings it to another level where you don't look too casual. And so that's
Hmm.
where, even if it's a conversational like tonight, you still have to look like the authority. And as the moderator, you still have to, no matter how, you don't know how other people are going to show up, you still have to look like the authority, because you are bringing everybody together. You're keeping things moving, and helping people to just know as the dialogue opens, like, okay, Tia's got running the show. She's always consistent. So yeah, I love black. Who doesn't? But don't be afraid to branch out to color. And it's amazing, because I tell people, and I've had many clients, I'm like, okay, so you're going to this business slash cocktail party, or even just you're getting in front of new clients. Just a great statement necklace is amazing,
Hmm.
because I said, it's a great conversational starter, because you have this cool statement necklace on that they might say something about it. And then, of course, you get to open the dialogue and start networking. But a great accessory, they'll remember you. So it is interesting that when you are in that whole sphere of people,
Hmm.
and whether it's casually or intentional networking, the eye contact, how you show up mentally and your brand. And even I said a hat,
I
a
was going to say
statement
that.
necklace.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I love a good hat.
me too.
I almost wore one tonight, but and it's sort of funny, because it's almost like that's, if you see a lot of pictures of me, my brand, I do have a hat on a
Yeah.
lot of my pictures. But hats are a confidence thing as well. A lot of people say, I can't wear a hat. I'm like, yes, you can. It's about confidence. It's owning your brand, just knowing and defining your brand. Is it going to work for you? Being consistent with that. And then you can be bold and you can feel good, because you're comfortable. You're like, okay, I know what my brand is, and I know I'm showing up in the right way, so that you're not sweating it every time you have a meeting or a networking
Hmm.
event or a speaking event, because you've already established that. And that's where I love to help people, is that they know the tools that are going to work for them, the wardrobe pieces coming together. And I see that light go on in their eyes, that they feel good. And I'm like, good. Then you can get to the important thing of delivering your message, sharing your gift, because you know your brand is on point. And let's face it, everybody's got a lot of competition. So if you want to be remembered, you need to bring it with your brand every time.
I would say I love that because you can bring it with your brand, but you're bringing it with your personality,
Right.
because having a personal, just it all starts within, like right here,
But people don't
of what before.
always get, you don't always get a chance though,
Okay.
if you don't, if people don't receive you in the right way. I might only have 2 seconds to say my name. And so in that 2 minute exchange, are they going to remember me? Are they going to call me? You know, I
Hmm.
get a chance to share all my knowledge or kind of warm up to each other, get to ask questions from them in terms of personality. So that's where I say that I'm sure a lot of people think it's superficial, but it is the
True.
psychology of how we're received.
It's so true. Now, I do have a question for you. So, someone in the athleisure world, like just very wellness driven world, what what advice would you give them when they're looking for a couple statement pieces? If they're always wearing yoga pants or just like they just show up in yoga pants, sports bra, and maybe just not even a kimono. I don't even know,
Actually,
like
I
a
dig
top tee or
athleisure is
something.
really about mixing. You can
Yeah,
mix a kimono with workout wear. It's just knowing the right way to do it. But layering is a really great part. I've worn yoga pants and a sleeveless hoodie and a blazer, an Ann Taylor blazer, because for my personal life, but also just to show people an example of how you can mix and match. So it is important if you're gonna go the athleisure, is that again, just like any outfit, the color, is it working? Is the fit working for your body shape? So that you're well received and people aren't distracted by either too much cleavage or whatever, but that you can utilize a layering piece um, and have fun with it. Because if you are in that casual realm, some great kicks could be your signature, like some platform sneakers that people go, oh, I love that person. I'm so drawn. I need to talk to them because every time they show up, they have such a cool vibe. So an accessory, some great, shoes, something that they're consistent with that grab. It could be, a hat that has their logo on it, but you went all the way with it. That the logo, it's like, oh my gosh, what does that mean? And what do you do? And it starts getting people asking questions and getting you noticed.
yeah. So that product placement or
Yeah, and
branding
just that
for
to go
anyone.
with it,
Mhm.
you did put the thought and literally head to toe, from your accessories. If you're going to do a hat, if you're doing a hoodie, is it cropped and has a cool logo on the back and it's colored and it complements, maybe some wide leg athleisure pants. And then you have some great, I mean, come on, I love the whole sneaker game is like off the
I know.
charts.
I know.
That's some personality all in itself. And I love as a stylist mixing that in where you can do some great kicks to show personality, but to bring it all together. That you maybe add one structured piece and then all your cool athletic wear. So it's such a fun time. It's such a fun time to create your brand, and that can be done no matter what you do. Because I love being creative. I
Yeah.
love thinking outside of the box and helping people be remembered for their unique sense of style. And I love how it just makes them feel amped up,
Yeah.
like excited because they're like, yeah, this is me. This is where I want to go. This is how I want people to know me and be interested in my products and who I am.
Yeah. And I just have to say as a takeaway, you guys are still listening, is one thing with Robin that I really love that she does. She's very passionate about her work. And I know I hopped in after because of my puppy. But you mentioned that you're a makeup artist. You mentioned that you did, maybe custom blends here and there because I did see Samantha on. Samantha is where is she? Is she on? No, she got off. But she actually manufactures makeup for startups. So she was on just really briefly. So I was like, oh
Okay.
my gosh, wait, don't leave. But that's one of the things you do is like you are not just a stylist or a fashion consultant
Right.
telling you what to wear, but you're looking at the
The
whole
whole picture.
picture
I
from
walk my
top
clients
to
through the whole
bottom.
thing because there's no sense. You can have a great suit on, but if your hair style is dated, it's the wrong color, everything else is going to fall flat because, again, it's head to toe, creating it to complement you as a person, your
Mhm.
coloring, your personality, your hair type. What's going to work
Everything.
best? It's truly the details make the difference. And listen, I have been at this for several decades, so I know
Yeah.
that a lot of people who want to transition, you cannot get stuck in the comfort zone, and that's what
Mhm.
happens. You have to overhaul in terms of sometimes the texture of your makeup, the color of your makeup, the color of your hair, and you know what? It can be fun. It doesn't have to be daunting. But yes, I am a professional makeup artist. I got my bachelor's degree in fashion merchandising years ago and have done the gamut from photo shoots to custom blend makeup company. I've done it all, so I'm a color expert. And so, yeah, it helps because it empowers me to lift up my client and give them that strong voice.
Yeah. You're empowering your voice through style.
That is my tagline. Empower
Yeah,
your voice through style. Absolutely.
I love that. Now, does anyone have any questions? Becca, are you still on? I just been seeing some hearts. Maybe she bowed out real fast. No? Wait. Okay. Well, I had a great time.
Thank you, Tia. Thank you. I appreciate
Thanks
your
for your
time. I
patience,
appreciate
everybody.
people jumping on, whether you watch this later or you watch a little bit of it. Here's the great thing. If you have a question and you didn't get a chance to,
Oh, wait, she
Becca's,
has.
okay. What do you think the first thing people notice? They actually will, they're going to look at you in your face, but if you're walking up to them, they're actually absorbing you in your entirety unless there's something really way off kilter, like your makeup's way overdone, you have something on that's really low cut and the girls are really saluting out there to say look. So again, it's typically looking at you in a composition unless something is way over the balance. So that's where it's hard to say one thing over another. But of
Mhm.
course, I'd always say would start with your face in terms of looking fresh, your hair, your makeup. Absolutely, you're smiling, you're making eye contact with someone, and having that confidence and shaking their hand, because that's in the moment you're eye to eye with them. But people really do, in the entirety, eventually, whether they realize it or not, are looking at your outfit. People forget about shoes. You can have a great outfit on, but then your shoes are all dinged up, or you didn't polish them, or the heels run down. So it's
I
amazing.
know.
Like, people will absorb the details, and it all comes back to, they think, are you successful? Are you professional? So it is a lot, and that's why I said I work with women, but I have also taught men too. That's all, the difference is all in the details. And don't let it be overwhelming. Don't let it be overwhelming. What wardrobe brands do you recommend for styled and polished look? Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, I have worked with clients and am not locked in to one particular brand, but I do tell them one tip always: buy an outfits. I don't care if it's a pair of black pants and you have 50 shirts at home to match it. Buy an outfits, because you're going to have a new go-to outfit and you're going to take that home and you are going to mix and match with what you
Mhm.
have in your wardrobe. But that new go-to outfit is going to look fresh and pulled together, and it's going to be out the door on the fly for you. But also, don't shop in the same stores.
Mm.
People say, oh, that store is like really stuffy, I would never go in there. Guess what? They might have a fabulous tailored shirt that you want to rock out with jeans and pumps, and you just couldn't find anything that was like a nice fitted tailored blouse. Or you may think that's a really high-end store. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter if it's designer. Everybody has sales, and you might get a great investment piece that you are going to love, and people are going to remember you by it. So it's a good investment. Just don't get locked into the same habits of buying the same thing over and over and buying outfits.
I'm sorry. I love that advice. Funny story real fast. So my dad is, he's on my case with my jacket with photos and showing that. So I do love that brand, and I will be investing in more of this gentleman's line because he designs with intention. So inside every jacket, it says something like "Speak love" or "Be you on purpose," like something along those lines. That makes you really think. So, oh, you're welcome, Samantha. So
If
that's
you have,
something
yeah,
too.
I love that because it's like a message. It's also attention to detail and quality. I would say to you, if you really have something in particular you're looking for, just message me, because I am always in my arsenal of who makes bespoke pieces, whether it's hats, whether it's tailored clothing from scratch for you, whatever that looks like for people, what they're looking for. I'm always going to help them find something that really is unique and helps you feel great. And so, that can come at different price points, but I'm always shopping for people, I'm always gleaning like, okay, put that one in the mental Rolodex because I love them.
Yeah. I love
And
this.
even you turned me on to Frances Valentine because I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I love it. Like vintage, cool vibe,
She's
little
the best. Yeah,
like
you guys check out Francis Valentine. That's a quick drop right there.
right
Francis
here in the
Valentine.
ATL. But like I said, it's knowing how to get those key pieces,
Mhm.
especially if you're trying to make a statement in what you do for your business and you want to amp it up.
Love
But
that.
yeah, I welcome people to check out my website. It's rhimage.com. So that way there you can see a little bit more about me. And if you have any questions,
Just reach out. All
please.
right. Well, I feel honored that I was on here with you and just to connect and just learn a little bit more, just learn a little bit more and just share with the world of it's really great to have someone in your corner that is an expert. So you're an expert with fashion style, like just putting yourself
Yeah,
together.
I do
You
complete
always need that
makeovers.
support.
And I value that trust from people. When I journey with them, I feel honored because it is a trusted time and relationship that I'm building with them. So yes, but it is a lot of fun too.
Yes.
And so thank you, Tia, because you invest 100% of yourself in what you do. And so I know we share that in common. So thank you for spending the time tonight with me.
Thank you for asking me. I loved every moment. All right, everyone, make sure you go like her page, send her
Yes.
a DM for
Please follow
sure.
me here on Instagram
Again,
because I'm going to keep showing up on Tuesday nights. So it can
yes.
be your happy hour, your fashion happy hour, whatever you want it to be. But I love that you're showing up and I love your questions. So I appreciate you. Thanks, guys. Bye,
Bye.
Tia.
See ya.